Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. I told, Elizabeth and Noelia and Alexia were the ones that came to the Zoom on Thursday. And I went to Abilene, which is where my parents live. It's in West Texas. So I went by myself, no kids, no husband, no dog. And I had a good weekend. I just slept and ate and had fun and played tennis with my parents and went on walks and listened to music and read. So great. Very relaxing. All right. So this week we are going to learn about two different concepts, and then next week we're going to put them together. Okay. So today and tomorrow you're going to be practicing what's called a gerund. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, so on Wednesday there will be another video about infinitives. And then Wednesday and Thursday you'll practice infinitives. And then next week we'll talk about the differences between them. Okay, so this week is just like kind of getting used to the grammar. And then next week will be how do you use them. Okay, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be fine. We're going to go slow. I think it's going to be easy for you. All right. All right, so this very strange word, gerund. Gerund, it's like a verb that can be used as a noun. That can be used as a noun. And you're like, what? But I'll show you. We have so many examples so that you can get used to it. Okay? You'll be great. It'll be fun. It's easy. Okay, so where's my pen? Right there. All right. So we're gonna do first just like the structure, and then we'll look at how we use gerunds. Okay. So here's an example. Okay, I'm gonna write the gerund in purple. Exercising. Okay, so look, this is like the present continuous ing that you're used to. All right, exercising is important. So exercising is a verb, right? So you're like, wait, exercising is a verb and is a verb. So you might be like, why do I have two verbs, right? Exercising and is, why? But in this case, exercising is not a verb, it's a noun, it's an activity, like an activity, okay? So it functions as a noun in this sentence. It's the subject of the sentence, it's the thing that's doing the being. Exercising is what's important. So it's like tacos are important. Tacos are a thing, a noun, right? Exercising is important. Exercising in this case is a noun, right? If you said, if I called you and I said, hey, what are you doing right now? And then you said, I am exercising, right? And you were like at the gym. Okay, then in that case, exercising, I am exercising is part of the present continuous, and that is a verb, okay? Because you're doing it right now, it's something that you're doing. But if I just say, oh, exercising is important, I'm not exercising, it's not present continuous, exercising is the noun. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so that's one example. All right, saving. Okay, so saving money. So this is like a gerund phrase. So saving is the gerund, but saving money is part of it. Like it's the activity of saving money. All right. Saving money is difficult. All right. Saving money is difficult. Learning English. Another phrase. Learning English is difficult. Okay. So you can have one word, a gerund can be one word, or it can be part of a phrase. But it's still like saving money is the activity. So saving is the gerund, but you have to say money, right? It's the activity. If I'm like, what do you like to do? And you're like, saving. Saving what, right? Like saving money is the activity. Learning English is the activity. Okay, so those are the positives. All right, so that's easy, okay? And you're gonna get so much practice this week. Okay, so then we have also negative gerunds, and this is really easy. You just do not plus the gerund. So let me give you an example. Okay, let me get my red pen for the not. Gotta get my red pen. Okay. All right, so not exercising, there's our gerund, is bad for you, is bad for you, okay? Not exercising is bad for you, okay? Okay, so let's do, okay, so not saving money, is a mistake, right? It's a big problem if you don't save money, if you can't save your money. All right, and then not learning English, is a mistake. Okay, so make a note that for negative gerunds, we're putting the not in front of the gerund. All right, so not exercising is bad for you. Okay, the verb here is not negative, the gerund is negative because you can't have both. So you couldn't say not exercising is not bad for you. That's not correct. Because remember in English, in a sentence, you can't have two negatives. So not exercising is not bad for you. No, you can't say that. Okay? So we just say not exercising, that's the negative, is bad for you. The verb is positive. Okay, so a gerund functions as a singular noun. Okay, so like, look, we have the gerund up here, not exercising, not saving money. We're using is. That's the same verb that we would use with like, he is, right? He is tall. He is bad for you. Not exercising is bad for you. He is bad for you. So any verb that you're going to use for a gerund is going to be third person singular, which we will talk about. Okay, third person singular. All right, so it can be one word or part of a gerund phrase. So that's what we talked about up here. So exercising is a gerund. Also saving money, okay, that's the gerund phrase. They can refer to activities and states, okay? So like states of being, estados de estar. Okay, so an activity would be learning a foreign language is hard work, okay? So learning a foreign language here is the gerund phrase. And then a state would be like, I don't like being hungry. I don't like being hungry, okay? So we can use go plus a gerund to refer to common activities. Go can be used in any tense. Okay, so I went, here's go in the past. I went hiking when I was in Colorado. Here we go. When you visit a national park, you can go camping or fishing. Okay. You with gerunds, you're going to use verbs such as like, dislike, hate, and enjoy to talk about liking or disliking activities and states. So I hate eating alone. All right, I hate eating alone. In his spare time, John enjoys fixing cars. Okay, John enjoys fixing cars. So you might be thinking like, I would say if you did this, you might be thinking, okay, I would say I hate to eat alone. All right. So That's the difference between gerunds and infinitives, which we're going to talk about next week. So just for now, know that you can use a gerund in this way. So you can use it with I hate doing the dishes. I hate vacuuming. All right. You can use it like that. All right. So gerund as a subject is going to, like we set up here, so it's the third person singular. Okay. And sorry, I put noun, but it's actually third person singular verb. So like you treat it, let's say that you can treat your gerund like an it. Okay? Treat your gerund like it. So look, listening, if we're going to use our to be verb here, what's going to go here? Listening is an important skill. You could say it is an important skill. It is, right? Listening is. Okay, so learning math, if our verb is to take, then what would it be? Learning math takes with the S. Because remember in third person singular, he, she, it. In the present tense, it needs an S on the end. He takes his kids to school. Learning math takes time, okay? So just treat this like an it. When you're thinking about what verb it needs, just treat it like an it. Okay, so that's gerund as a subject, right? The gerund is at the beginning, it's doing the verb. That's gerund as a subject. All right, last week we talked about objects, right, which come after, okay, which come after verbs and like receive the action. Okay, so gerunds can also be used as an object. And here's some certain verbs. And then in your packet, there's also like another huge list of verbs where you can use gerunds as an object. Okay, so think about this one. Let's look at this one first. Okay, so he loves, right? The object, we could say he loves dogs, right? So dogs in this case is the object. It's receiving his love. He, the man, loves dogs. Dogs are receiving the love of the man's love, okay? So dogs is the object. All right, so here he loves eating breakfast for dinner. He loves eating. So we're going to put our gerund there. And now eating breakfast for dinner, instead of he loves dogs, we have he loves eating breakfast for dinner. Now that's the object. Okay? So we avoid, okay, evitar, we avoid, the gerund would be going to movie theaters during COVID. Okay? So like we avoid the police, right? The police would be the recipient of what you avoid. You're like, whoa, no. We avoid the police, or we avoid going to movie theaters during COVID. Okay? All right. And then look at this one. So I started learning English last year. Okay? So here's learning English is our object. What did you start? Learning English. Okay. All right, next page. So prepositions, which are the little words, they tell like when or why or how, okay? Prepositions with gerunds. So there's 3 different examples, and I have lots of examples for you, okay? So, but we'll go over them together. All right, so the first one is the preposition plus the gerund, okay? So look at this one. I will call, that's future, right? Here's our preposition before and now our gerund, leaving town. Okay, so our gerund here, if you think about it, let's see, like a time, right? So if we said 9 o'clock or whatever, before lunch, before the meeting, it's a noun, right? So after a preposition, sometimes you need a gerund. If you're gonna, like, I will call before leaving town. Leaving town in this case is the activity of leaving town, okay? All right, we walked instead of driving, okay? Instead of is our preposition, driving is our gerund, okay? You haven't practiced for this today, so you'll get some practice with it. It's either today or tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. All right, okay, so the next one is there's a verb plus a preposition plus a gerund. So these are talking about verb phrases, okay, where a verb uses a preposition. So it's kind of the same as up here. You're just adding a verb in. All right, so look, Joe Biden worried, there's our verb, about, and then what did he worry about? Losing the election. So here you could say Joe Biden worried about snakes. Joe Biden worried about, I don't know, car wrecks, okay? But because we want to talk about this, the action of losing the election, we're going to make it into a gerund because it's an activity. So Joe Biden worried about losing the election. It's an event, right? Losing is the event. Okay, I believe, here's our verb, in telling the truth. So these are verb phrases, and honestly, a lot of these you just have to like memorize. So you're gonna see them. Uh, so like if you look at the list, approve of, believe in, plan on, think about, worry about. Okay. If you want to practice those, you can write me some sentences like, what what do you think about? What do you think about? What do you worry about? What do you plan on doing in January? Right? You're like, oh, I plan on coming to classes in January. I plan on coming to classes in January. So, yes, if you'll look at your notes that are after this, there's like reference, and it should have more, it'll have more lists of these like these verb phrases that have verbs and prepositions, okay? And then our last one is, okay, this is another like verb phrase. All right. Verb phrases. Okay. So this is when these verb phrases use to be plus the adjective plus a preposition plus a gerund. So honestly, all of these are gerunds that come after prepositions, right? Here's preposition, gerund, preposition, gerund, preposition, gerund. So it's just different ways that you see it. Okay, so here's some examples. We were tired. Okay, so we were, here's to be. Tired is the adjective. The preposition is of, and then our gerund is studying hard. Okay, we were tired of studying hard. So to be tired of is a verb phrase that you might know. Okay, I am interested in learning English. I am interested in learning English. Okay, that's easy. All right, so here's the other ones. Be used to. So I am used to, and then you put your gerund, okay? Waking up early, okay? I am good at teaching, okay? So that's how you use those phrases. I am good at teaching. She is good at reading. All right, so be afraid of, be fond of, that means you like it. I am fond of reading. Okay, I like reading. Be good at, be interested in, be surprised at. Okay, so those are verb phrases that you may know, or maybe you don't. I don't know. If you're like, I don't know any verb phrases, then maybe you can tell me and we can study verb phrases, okay? All right, so that is the video for gerunds. You have good practices in your packet, and then I will send you some practices. And on Wednesday, we'll have another video about infinitives. It'll be shorter, a little easier. And then next week, remember, that's when we start doing like, which verb do you use, the gerund or the infinitive, or the gerund or the infinitive? Which one? Okay? All right, friends. Have a good week. Let me know if you are confused about something or you have questions.